Hello everybody, it's me, and as you can tell I'm not here today, and I didn't remind you that in class yesterday, but I have a meeting to be in. I'm actually right across the hall in 211, so if you really need something, I can come over. But anyways, I just wanted to give you a little video preview of what it is you should be doing today. That way you're covered, you know what's expected of you, and if you have any questions, you know where to go with those. So the first thing I want to show you is what you should be working on today. And this will go for those that are not working on Project 2. Let me clarify that. If you are still working on Project 2, and you need to use the software, Fireworks and Dreamweaver, to do that, please continue to do that. Use this time. However, everyone else that is done, and as you finish, you'll be working on Activity 7, which I'll go over in a little bit. And if you finish that, you'll be making your group for the stop motion video project. So if you're working on Project 2, I just want to show you quickly here. Let me go to our website, tinyurl.com/digitalmt. So probably been out there recently. If you haven't, you should be. It's a good place to be. I still have to write today's recap. I'll get on that once I'm done making this video. But if you are still working on Project 2, I will have a couple more of these tutorials made for you on doing some different things. Right now I just have creating a navigation bar, copying code into Dreamweaver, and hosting files on Google Drive. That's it right now. Hopefully add some more on there later, especially rollovers and masks. Those two seem to be a bit more challenging. Those are some of the things that a lot of you still needed to have in there. So that way you have those resources. But that's for those that are working on Project 2. I think Corey's trying to say hi. So when you're done with that, there's the Project 2 turn-in form, which is right here. Remember, you need to host your site on Google. If you aren't sure how to do that, there's the video. Ask the students in the class for help. There are several that are done that have done this. They know how to do it, so go with them. Double check, make sure everything works. It's just good practice, and then go from there. So that's Project 2. Let's talk about what's coming up next. So under Unit 3, I'm going to go out here. There is the midterm reflection. I'm going to ask that. That's another thing that I'd like you to do on your own time. That will be worth points just for getting it done. But I do want that because that's a good way for me to see what's going on up here. I don't always get that with all of you, so I'd like to see that. So in Unit 3, we'll be discussing Flash. So a couple things that we'll talk about. Activity 5 will be what we go with. So I know I called it Activity 7. Appears to be Activity 5, so I'm losing count as much as I'm losing my hair, apparently. So Activity 5. Basically, what this is going to ask you to do is compare two websites. You're going to be comparing a website of Flash, mainly built with Flash, or you're going to look at websites that were mainly built off of HTML5, which is a newer web standard, which does a lot of the things that Flash does, but doesn't require that additional plugin. So it makes it easier to run on all devices. If you use an Apple device, you know what I'm talking about. So basically, these are just lists. You'll click on them, you'll look through. I want you to look through a lot of these. Take a look, see what's cool, see what you like. But it's a nice list of some really neat sites that are built using Flash. So just look at the ones you like. Say what you do or don't like about them. And then you'll be comparing that to HTML5 websites. Now what you may find is they may be different, they may not be different, and that's for you to determine. Is it something where there's no big difference between the two? Okay, that's fine. So is one better than the other? That's what I'm looking for you to come up with evidence based on these sites and your evaluation of those. So that's Activity 7. Put that on a Google Doc, your responses for that, and then you'll be just sharing that with me. And I call it Activity 7 again. Maybe I should just change the name. Corey, please get off the camera. What a screen hog she is. All right, so that's here. Any questions about that? I do want to point out one thing to you that I'll be using actually in both my classes today. This back channel. Todaysmeet.com/Mr. G is gone. And I want you to use this if you have any questions at all. I'll have this up on my computer in my meeting. If you have any questions, I'll know. Make sure you use your real name when you sign into this. So that way I know you have a serious question, I can help you. If Miss Piggy or a Duck Dynasty guy, I don't know all the names, ends up sending me a question, I'm probably not going to answer. I'm going to ask, why are they in my class? That kind of thing. So put your real name in there. Right. So then to the last part. If you finish with all of that, and you're ready to move on, then we're going to talk about the project. And that is the stop motion animation project. So let me fly over here. Project 3, stop motion animation. And what I'm asking here is that your groups are no more than 4. And 4 is kind of big. My expectation is if you have a group of 4, you've got one of the most creative stop motion videos that we're going to see. You've got a lot of brain power working there with a group of 4. So that should be able to work out. If for whatever reason you want to be a group of 2, that's fine, but no more than 4. And make sure everybody has a place. And we'll be going full speed ahead with this on Thursday. So if you don't get to this part on Wednesday, then Thursday we'll be starting with this, and I'll go over it again with everybody that day. But basically, this explains a little about stop motion videos. I have a link here for you to peruse some really cool looking stop motion videos if you don't know what it is. But basically it's just a bunch of still photos taken at little bitty changes, and when you put them all together in video editing software, you get what looks like motion, even though there never was motion. It's all a bunch of little pictures. How you do this is up to you. You can choose to do it live action, where you just take pictures of somebody moving little bits at a time, or you can use little figures or pictures or whatever. Be creative. I'm leaving it open to you. I just want you to try it and play with it. That's all I'm asking with that. So that's project 3, and that's where I hope many of you get tomorrow. If not, that's where you'll be starting on Thursday. Then we're looking at a due date. I'm thinking 1 day for planning, maybe 1 day for filming, 1 day for putting it all together. Okay, so I'm looking at about 3 days with this, so maybe end of class Monday. I'm looking at coming due with this project, and then we can go and complete our project for Flash with that. So I think that's all I have to say. Let me just check my notes here, make sure I covered it all. Pretty sure I did. Take it easy today. Work hard. Want to hear good things about you. And I don't want to hear you from across the hall, because that means you're being loud. Be nice to the sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. We'll see you all next time.